Hello and welcome to Accent Excellence. I'm Chuck Leinberger, and coming up on this month's show, we're wearing orange to celebrate Unity Day here at Glenver High School and, as you can see, take a stand against bullying. Also, we're going to head down to Fort Lewis Elementary School and partner up with Subway to get fit. So stick around. Accent Excellence starts next.
People who are using heroin are not the typical destitute, marginalized persons homeless in our society. This is not the profile of the typical heroin user today. Today, the typical heroin user is your neighbor next door. It is the young person who's going to high school. It is the young professional, and it is a growing problem.
Hi, and welcome back to Accent Excellence. We're at Glenver High School, and joining me now is Lexi and Elizabeth. Lexi's a junior here, and Elizabeth's a senior. And guys, we're here today to celebrate a very special day. It's Unity Day here at Glenver High School, but not just at Glenver, not just at Roanoke County Public Schools. This is a national event that is taking place at schools and businesses all across the nation today, and we're seeing a lot of orange going on. What's happening today?
Well, today we're kind of taking a stand against bullying and wearing orange. Orange kind of stands for the color of autumn, and it's also really an expressive color, so I mean, like, it's obviously the color of Unity Day.
So Elizabeth, you've been getting out to the student body today, and really for the last week or so, about coming out and wearing orange to take a stand against bullying. Why is it so important to get students involved in this effort to take a stand against bullying?
Well, it's very important because if you see your friends uniting for bullying, then you'll want to join in as well. And I think that students should stand alone against bullying. So.
All right, tell me, there's a lot of messages that you guys also were writing down earlier this morning, and literally was asking the question, how would you deal with bullying? Take me through some of the messages that you guys wrote down.
Well, basically, a lot of people have a problem of just staying silent when they get bullied. So we really want to get the message that nobody's really alone in this situation. And if you stay silent, nothing really gets done about it. That's another reason why we take part of Unity Day and Anti-Bullying Month and stuff like that. So basically, us saying don't let it happen or take a stand or what the bullies say don't matter really is like the whole point of it, because that's what matters.
It seems like that one of the things that, especially if you think over the years, again, junior and a senior, so you've been in school for quite a while now. How have you seen the school culture and the school climate change when it comes to bullying over, say, the past 10 years?
Well, I've noticed that, it used to be bullying was just a thing that everyone did, and it's not okay. Like, it's important to watch if someone's getting bullied and, go over there and be like, hey, that's not what we do anymore, that's not okay. And it's important to unite everyone and make sure that they're not alone and that they do speak out about it.
And as you talk about, Lexi, today is Unity Day, and by that very nature, unity means standing together, and we have students of all different cultures and backgrounds. How important is it to respect each other and be tolerant of each other's thoughts and beliefs?
I think all across the nation, since we're so diverse, being as one and really accepting each other is really important, because it's kind of like a thing to like not accept people and people think that's cool. I think if we changed it and said that it was cool and that it was okay to accept other people for how they are, it would just make a really big difference. It doesn't cost anything to be a kind person to anybody. So I mean.
Yeah, and Elizabeth, take a look, around today. Earlier this morning you were putting on these various buttons for anybody who was wearing orange. A lot of folks around today wearing orange, aren't they?
Definitely.
Tell me what that means.
Well, to me, it means that we impacted people a lot, and we got the message out that, we have to stand against this and help people. And I'm glad that a lot of people joined in. It's part of like the school pride, and if you see everyone coming together, it makes you feel better about your school and helping each other out.
It seems like it's a lot of fun. Again, so Unity Day is going on right now. Again, it's October the 19th, and we're definitely celebrating it here at Glenver, as well as many other schools all across Roanoke County, and again, all across the nation. So, Lex and Elizabeth, again, thank you guys for taking a stand against bullying. And if you happen to be participating in Unity Day, we want to thank you for taking that stand and trying to eradicate bullying. It's something that, really we don't want to see anymore, do we? Absolutely. Guys, thanks so much for being with us. And you stay right there, because we've got much more Accent Excellence still to come.
It is important for both restaurants and homeowners to help keep our waterways clean and safe. Never pour cooking oil or grease into sinks, parking lots, or streets. The oil and grease can enter our waterways through storm drains. Always try to recycle the oil and grease or put it into the trash. If you have a spill, clean it up by using a drying agent like cat litter. Never hose down spills. Keep dumpster and trash can lids closed. Restaurants should clean floor mats and garbage cans in a mop sink. It's easy to keep our waterways clean by doing the right thing.
Hi, and welcome back to Accent Excellence. We're at Fort Lewis Elementary School, and joining me is Maria McEwen and Becky Clausen. Becky is with Subway, and Maria is here, a PE teacher for Fort Lewis. And guys, we're talking about getting fit, but there's also a challenge involved. Maria, what's going on today?
Well, we entered our school into a contest so that Subway was sponsoring. It's called Subway Fit for Life. And the school that has the most participation in activity and also healthy food eating, we keep a log of that. If we win, we get $1,000 worth of new PE equipment.
It's very exciting, and Becky, no pressure, obviously, for Subway. But more importantly, though, is the point that Subway is giving back to the community, and how it's important for Subway to be partnering with school systems to make sure that kids are not just being healthy, but eating healthy.
Yes, it's extremely important for Subway, and not a lot of people realize that the Subway restaurants are locally owned by citizens in this community. So a lot of them have children that go to the schools in the community, and they're personally invested in wanting our kids to grow up and not join the ranks of the more ever-growing population of obese. They want them to try to learn healthy eating habits and staying active at a young age.
And speaking, how exciting is it to have the challenge here at Fort Lewis?
It's thrilling. The kids are pumped. They are so excited. And they're telling me all these stuff that they're eating. And I'm trying to be excited because I don't like asparagus. But they do, and that's great. So, but we're talking about all the other fruits and vegetables and fiber and grains and all of that stuff.
But Maria, that's actually kind of part of it. I'm not a fan of broccoli. But you know what? It's okay because there are so many other
choices.
Great choices out there, right?
That's right, exactly. And actually, one of the things Subway is giving today is a little packet of seeds to each of the students to encourage them to plant their own garden. So that I think it's carrots and peas that we're encouraging them to plant to remind them that they can grow fresh gardens in their own backyard. So.
And again, talking about with the challenge itself and getting kids involved, movement.
Very much so, yes. Lots of that. And so we'll be doing some of that today as part of the assembly, and it's things that are easy for kids to do either at home during commercial breaks. They can do it beside their desk in their classroom. There's plenty of things that they can do. So I'm always encouraging that.
And Becky, we also have another special guest who is going to be talking to the kids today. What's going on?
We have a surprise guest. Subman is here. He's kind of the Subway mascot, the sandwich that's coming. And Subman can do some jumping jacks and some push-ups, and it gets the kids going and excited, so it's fun to be able to do that.
And that's part of the whole thing is that you got to have fun with this at the same time.
Very much so, yes, because if it's not fun, they're not going to do it, and it's not going to encourage them to continue.
And we've got another special guest as well. Zach Glover from DBJ is here.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about Zach's visit.
Well, Zach is going to come in. He's going to be my partner for some different activities that we're going to do today, and then he's going to talk about some sports and the activity that kids get involved with that. But we know that a lot of kids don't grow up to be pro sports. They would like to, but they need to learn skills beyond just sports. So physical fitness is important, so Zach will help with that.
And it's also kind of part of it of just interacting physical fitness into your everyday life. And as you said,
very much so.
While yes, we know that students listen to parents, parents listen to students.
To students too, yes.
And so we want to get those parents active and involved as well.
They do. So anytime we can influence those kids to go home and show mom and dad new things that they have done and get mom and dad to do that as well, then that's great. You see them out on the greenway on their bike, running, walking the dog, any kind of physical activity, the kids are big encouragers for that.
And that's such a great benefit here for Roanoke.
we
There's
have a lot
so many things in the Roanoke Valley for folks to be not just physically active, but again, those great healthy choices.
That's right. It's such an outdoors market. It's a perfect spot for us to be able to do this, and it's our hometown, so it's great to be involved.
Well, we want to say a very special thank you to Subway for putting on this challenge. And of course, this challenge is all across the nation, correct?
In select markets, yes. Roanoke, again, the Subway owners here volunteered to donate some of their income and their proceeds. That $1,000 comes directly out of their sales and right back into the local community. So, great thing.
So we very much appreciate Subway. And again, it's another example of how Roanoke County Public Schools is partnering with our community so that our community benefits, but also our schools and our students and our teachers benefit as well. So Becky and Maria, thank you so much for being with us, and good luck on the challenge. But folks, stay right there. We have more Accent Excellence still to come.
A pet is a friend. They are playful, loyal, and every pet wants and deserves a forever home. Did you know the Regional Center for Animal Care and Protection has many pets that are available for adoption? Our adoptable pets are listed online with pictures and descriptions, or you can visit us at 1510 Baldwin Avenue, Monday through Saturday, 11:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. For more info about providing a pet a forever home, contact the Regional Center for Animal Care and Protection. Remember, there's no place like a forever home, so adopt today.
Hi, we're here at the new Marathon Clinic located right here at the Roanoke County Public Schools Administration Building. Joining me is one of the folks here from Marathon. It's Susan Detmar. Susan, thanks for having us here and inviting everybody in to kind of take a quick look here at the brand new clinic that's here.
Thank you guys for coming in today.
So tell me how this all got started.
Well, there is already a clinic at the is it downtown that Marathon Health has had for a while now, and I guess everyone has loved it. It's been there 2 or 3 years, and the employees love it, the county loves it, so they wanted to kind of expand that idea, and we have a bigger site here so that they can have more employees join in.
So this is for all employees for Roanoke County Public Schools and the Jail Authority, those employees that participate in the health insurance program.
And retirees.
And retirees, that's right, and retirees as well. What services does the clinic here provide?
Well, we do provide sick visits, which is a convenience, almost like an urgent care or a minute clinic, but we also have a variety of wellness, health and wellness services. So
so tell me about the wellness, because that's kind of a very critical part, especially something that the Roanoke County school employees are going to be hearing a lot more about is an emphasis on wellness. So tell me a little bit about the wellness screening that we're encouraging all employees to do.
So there is an incentive program, and the employees are encouraged to do a survey online. Then they come into the clinic or to their doctor's office to get some blood work done. It's just cholesterol and glucose. If they come here, it's just a finger stick. And then they do a CHR, which is a comprehensive health review with myself or Heather, the other nurse practitioner here. And that just kind of goes over all the results of their survey, of their blood work, and it basically gives them a report card. So it gives them a number, 0 to 100, on their health score. It's called a wellness score. So then we kind of just drive the conversation from there, places where they're kind of surprised that they didn't do as well or areas for improvement. And then we also, if they're interested, offer health coaching here. So they can come back if they have any issues that they want to work on, like wanting to exercise more or change their diet, quit smoking, anything that's health oriented. They can come back in for wellness coaching visits.
And as you said before, it's also available that, as we are approaching the winter months, that's your typical, sniffles and sneeze season. And so this is available so that folks both here at the central office as well as any school all across the county can pop into either this location or the one down at Bernard Drive.
Yes.
And it's got to be a huge convenience factor, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, they're all loving it. We've had a lot of sick visits and a lot of the incentive visits also. We've been pretty busy since we opened last Wednesday.
Yeah, and so this opened up just recently, first part of October, and so there's a whole lot going on. So why don't we take a quick look around it, and then we'll start over here with the lab. Okay, so Susan, here is the lab, and this is something that is available, again, services for all of our employees who are participating in our health plan. And the lab can provide a tremendous amount of information for employees.
It can, and we have these machines right over here that do cholesterol and the blood glucose right here on site. They just take a few minutes to actually result. And any other labs we can draw and send out and through their insurance.
And it's going to be pretty helpful to have that nearly instantaneous results for some of the key things like cholesterol. I mean, we all know to watch those cholesterol numbers, and so to be able to get in some information and feedback right then and there, it's got to be really helpful for parents.
Yeah, and that's what helps with us with the coaching and with the CHRs and giving them kind of a score and see where they are and what they might need to work on.
So we've got more though. We've got to take a look now at one exam room, so we'll head on in there. Okay, so this is one of 2 exam rooms that we have here in the clinic, and again, it's accessible and convenient and right here.
It is.
So tell me about some of the typical services that you will do here in an exam room, again, especially thinking wellness.
With the wellness, we don't do anything in these rooms. We have a separate consultation room that is more homey. I like to say this is more for the sick visits, and we do almost anything here that they can do in any family office.
It's got to be huge that, again, you know, with Marathon, and again, given the fact that you've got a location here at the Roanoke County Public Schools Administration Building and another location down at Bernard Drive, available and accessible for employees, and by the way, extra hours. So it's not just your typical 9 to 5. You're available off hours as well.
We're here till 7 o'clock at night. I think it's 3 or 4 nights a week. And 7 in the morning.
So again, you know, so for folks who are coming to make their appointments, you know, they can do so, you know, early or late. And how do they make that appointment?
They can either call the office directly and we can schedule them, or they can schedule themselves online through the portal.
So it's a great opportunity that's available for employees of Roanoke County Public Schools, the Jail Authority, who are participating in our health plans, and again also for employees of Roanoke County. So Susan, we really do appreciate all the services that Marathon provided for us. And folks, stay right there. We'll have more coming up.
Cared then, I need you to care now. Don't turn a blind eye to teenage drinking.
Hi, and welcome back to Accent Excellence. We're at the Roanoke County Public Schools Administration Building, and joining me is Rhonda Stegall. She's our Director of Secondary Instruction here for Roanoke County Public Schools. And Ms. Stegall, for months now on Accent Excellence, we've been taking a real deep dive into this. This is the strategic framework. Folks who have been watching Accent Excellence are becoming very familiar with this, and we've looked at deeper learning, we've talked about the 4 C's, and now it's time to come to the outer ring of the strategic framework, and right up at the top there is balance. Why is balance so important supporting the rest of the strategic framework?
Well, balance, what that's all about is balance. We have the essential content knowledge that we've been teaching over decades, and those are your subject areas that we've been focusing on, which is very, very important and are essential for our students. But there's another component that the reason we call it balance, on the other half of that, are skills, and what we consider those to be are the 21st century skills, which are the 4 C's here: collaboration, communication, creativity, and critical thinking. And those 4 skills are what, when students have the knowledge and then use these skills to apply the knowledge, that's what brings us into the deeper learning. So the balance is critical, because if we're preparing students to go to college and to be career ready, they're going to need not only content knowledge, but they're going to need those crucial skills of the 21st century that business leaders are telling us time and time again, and colleges are telling us that that's what our students are needing in order to be successful in 21st century.
So really kind of boil it down, we have on one hand the SOLs, and parents are familiar with what the SOLs are and the standards, and we're not talking about the tests, we're talking about the standards, the content that the state says you need to learn. But on the other hand, we have these skills that the community, the business community, the higher education community has said students need to have these skills over here, the 4 C's.
Right.
It's the marriage thereof.
Absolutely. Yes.
So tell me how, really how are teachers trying to strike this balance? Because sometimes that can be fairly obvious, but sometimes it's not so easy.
So a lot of times what we're doing is we're encouraging them to do performance task assessments, or also called project-based learning. And so basically what that is you take a real live world problem that we are experiencing maybe in our community or in our school, and we present that to the students, and they have to use their content knowledge in the subject they're at, but they're also going to use the 4 C's in order to figure out a way to solve that problem. And when they solve that problem, then they have to use these skills in order to get to a solution that's going to be viable in the real world setting. And what again that does is help them understand or learn more deeply about the use of their knowledge. Rather than just having the knowledge, it's showing them how to apply their knowledge by the use of these skills to actually solve real world problems. And that's exactly what they're doing in their jobs today.
Yeah, so it's a lot more than just, it's not just enough really to know it. More importantly, it's to find the information,
yes,
analyze it, but then most importantly, use it and apply it.
Right. So what that would look like in a classroom, for example, if there was a problem that you wanted to solve, students would research, find the information, they would research, they would take that information, determine which sources were credible and which were not, and then they would take that information and come to a consensus, and they would work as groups and collaborate. They would communicate with outside community people, professionals in the field, to verify that their knowledge is accurate. They would then think about all the ways they could solve that problem using higher level critical thinking skills, and then they would use creativity in their final solution or final product or final problem solving for that scenario that they were presented. So what's happening is they're using all those skills and combining all that together, and that's why it's such a balance, is that there's a need for both of those. The skills alone, you can't really take the skills and solve good problems if you don't have the content knowledge. If you have the content knowledge and don't have the skill work, you're going to have a really hard time solving problems. So you really do need both sides of that, and that's why the balance is so critical.
And that also opens up kind of a second issue of balance, which is, we understand that we still do live in the world of testing.
Absolutely.
That it is what it is. We do have the world of testing, but we also have the world of project-based learning, and so there's a balance there as well.
It is. The standards, of course, are very important, and basically when you do project-based learning, the idea is to take the SOL standards and then you embed those up into the project. So rather than what we typically know as projects, usually teachers would teach some information and then have a project as a culminating activity. That's not what project-based learning is. Project-based learning is a real-life problem-solving problem, and then the standards that are the SOL standards are built into the project. So the students are learning along the way, either through scaffolding or different lessons from teachers that are built in, and then they're using all that information along the way to solve the problem. So, and at the end, typically the projects are assessed by rubrics. And so are the students meeting the content knowledge? Are they using the skills that were involved in the rubric and to solve the problem? So it's a little bit different format of assessment, so because you're assessing more of a skill and a performance, or what the outcome is, rather than just content knowledge on an SOL test.
It's a whole lot that comes, and as you can see, it's not just so simple a thing as this or this and just put them together. There's a whole lot of thought and consideration that goes into how we are integrating both that core knowledge, that content knowledge, plus the skills. So, Rhonda, thank you so much for being with us. And folks, don't forget, we're going to have a lot more talking about our strategic framework coming up next time when we talk about school climate. But don't go anywhere. We still have a lot more excellence coming up.
A little soap and water can go a long way. When you wash your car in a driveway, the soap, oil, and grease can flow into storm drains and pollute our rivers and streams. Always try to wash your car on the lawn. This will allow the water to soak into the ground. If you have to wash your car in a driveway, make sure the water drains onto your lawn and not a storm drain. Use a biodegradable soap. Dump your wash bucket in your sink or allow it to filter through the grass. It's easy to keep your car and our waterways clean by doing the right thing.
Hi, and welcome back to Accent Excellence with the Burton Center for Arts and Technology. And joining me is Sherry Rickman. She's one of the instructors here. And Meg Swecker. Meg is no stranger here to Accent Excellence. She does many wonderful technology things here at Roanoke County Public Schools. And Sherry and Meg, we're going to have some snacks in the classroom, but it's not the snacks that maybe the folks at home think about. What's going on?
Well, I guess I'll get started. Class Snacks is a celebration of Connected Educator Month in October, and VISTE, the Virginia Society for Technology Educators, is popping into classrooms around the Commonwealth, and they are doing virtual visits so that they can get a glimpse of what's going on and how technology is changing learning.
So Sherry, give me an example of one of these class snack visits.
Yeah, absolutely. We're absolutely thrilled that we actually were chosen as a class to be able to show what we're doing. But the students have put together a wonderful presentation to show what they're doing in their video broadcasting with Mr. Salo in mass communication, and just showing how they work together and using Office 365 to communicate with their files and that sort of thing. And just really, it's a way for them to practice in their presentation skills.
It's got to be very helpful, though, using the technology to be able to give a presentation to an expert without, frankly, the expert having to be here in the room physically.
Yes, and we're using Adobe Connect, and Meg's been getting us connected this morning and practicing those technologies.
Meg, tell me about the ability to get connected and having that virtual visit, and how beneficial that is to students to be able to, again, to have folks who can participate in the instruction while they don't have to be here.
I think it's a very valuable activity. What I really like is that we're talking very much to students. We're getting student voice about their learning and the tools that are really enhancing their learning. So not only can visitors come in and see this in the classroom, but then all of the visits are archived. And educators from around the Commonwealth can at any time look up a class snack, get some ideas, and then use those ideas in their own classrooms.
Tell me how this all kind of got started. How was Burton selected as one of the class snack?
Well, got an email from Meg in regards to asking us if we wanted to do it, and I said absolutely. It's a great, wonderful opportunity for the students to, again, showcase how they use technology and how it helps them. You know, they actually are able to help their peers as well with technologies in some of their studies.
Especially, it has to almost be a double learning for many of the students here at Burton in the MassCom Center, because on one hand, you know, they're showcasing learning by what they're doing, but at the same time, they're also being involved in advanced communication technologies.
Oh, absolutely. The students are working with, you know, each other, okay, and they're also connecting with their peers.
Tell me how this is another example of, I mean, how technology has totally revolutionized education. You know, you think back 30 years ago, this not even would have been possible. It wouldn't even have been dreamed of.
No, it would not have been. And so the ability to easily visit a classroom, talk to students, get their take on learning, what they could do differently, what their, how technology is expanding what they're doing in the classroom, and where they want to go with their learning is a completely new idea. So we're really glad to be a part of this, and we're thrilled that VISTE is celebrating this in Virginia this month.
This takes collaboration to a whole new level, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's got to be a lot of fun. And where does it go from here, though? For either one of you, where's it go next?
Well, I think that, okay, there'll be the archives, of course, but you know, we're having 4 classrooms highlighted tomorrow, but as I talk to other educators and other ITRTs, there's a lot of excitement about the cool things that are going on in their schools too. So I would really like to see these kinds of visits happen more than in just Connected Educator Month. I'd like to see us celebrate the cool things that are happening in our classrooms on a regular basis.
This does seem like it opens the door to, not just through the Class Snacks program, but just in general to have a whole host of visiting authors, artists, scholars, you know, kind of pick the visiting guest to be able to come and virtually attend a classroom.
Absolutely. We have experts that can come in, and we've been doing some of that for a while with Skype, but our students are also the experts in their learning, and so who can they help? And we'll see some of that in these snacks tomorrow.
It's an exciting program, and it's going to be something that we're looking forward to seeing a whole lot of.
Yeah.
So, Megan, Sherry, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Folks, stay there. We've got more Accent Excellence still to come.
If you would like to adopt a pet, did you know that you can also go to the RCACP website and their Facebook page to look at pets for adoption? It's easy to do. Simply go to their website at rcacp.org or visit their Facebook page. Both sites include information and pictures of animals waiting to be adopted. Help make a difference in the life of a pet today. Adopt from the Regional Center for Animal Care and Protection.
Well, that's going to do it for this month's edition of Accent Excellence. If you'd like to find out more about Roanoke County Public Schools, be sure to check us out online, and don't forget to like us on Facebook and Twitter. Also remember, if you or you know someone who are being bullied, take a stand and speak up and speak out. I'm Chuck Leinberger. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.